Hello there, everyone. I'm GearlessRobot, and I'll be running Star Ocean Second Story R for you tonight. So, I guess, well, over a year and a half. How long has it been? Yeah, it's been a little over a year and a half ago since I ran this game at RPG Limit Break back in 2024, and back then we did the Rena story. Well, tonight we're going to be doing the Claude story, the one that lost the bid war. And here I'm going to rename Claude to Q4G. Q4GC Kenny. Alright. So, I guess we can get started now. 3, 2, 1, go. So this game starts out, Claude is, if you saw the Star Ocean the first departure R run at RPG Limit Break this year, well, Claude is the son of Ronix from that game. The guy in red there, that's Ronix if you remember him. I don't blame you if you don't. I mean, all he did was create a couple items for me and then sit on the bench the rest of the time, but it's not really a direct sequel to the first game, but it brings Ronix over from it. And it follows his son, Claude, who's, as you can see, is Q4G, the blonde-haired guy here. And it starts with them on a mission to investigate this one object on this undiscovered planet. Claude is a little hasty, runs in to try to activate the device, and gets teleported to this planet, which, as we'll soon find out, is called Expel. And Rena here, well, technically this translation calls her, or the when they released it on PSP, they started calling her Rena, but in the PS1 version, all the voice actors called her Rena, so it's hard to undo, what was it, like 25 years of calling her Rena, so she's gonna be Rena. Deal with it. Claude finds her in the forest and ends up saving her from that monkey that you saw me blast a couple times with that laser, and takes him to her village to basically make him dinner as a celebration for him saving her. And now we're just going around the village. We gotta go. You see all these exclamation points on the mini-map there? Like most games, the exclamation point just says, yeah, here's where you have to go next. And unfortunately, there's no quick way to do this. You have to go in literally every one of these houses and activate all of these exclamation points to trigger the next cutscene. Back on the these are all the same triggers as on the PS1 version, and when I played this version and I saw that basically all the exclamation points are exactly what I thought all the triggers were, I did feel kind of vindicated, and also kind of felt like, yeah, it is as silly as I thought it was. Because some of these event triggers are just weird. Like here, you can try to go into Rena's room, and then that triggers the next cutscene where if you try to go back into the guest room, it advances time. Like I said, a lot of these triggers are just confusing, and I don't know why they work that way, but now the game pretty much tells you, hey, all these confusing triggers that you don't know about, yeah, this is how they actually work. So I guess it's nice. So next day, basically what happened in all those cutscenes is I thought Claude was this warrior. He's like, no, I'm not the warrior. And then, but the mayor decided he's gonna let Claude stay at his house for a little bit. So now Claude's trying to find a way off the planet, so he's leaving and going to the next town over, and I get that long sword because this is like a medieval planet, so a laser gun would stick out like a sore thumb here, so they gave Claude a sword, so basically just to blend in. So we go to this town, and basically the game doesn't... Basically what you're supposed to do is talk to a bunch of people and figure out what's going on. But like I said, the game tells you where you need to go. So I go to talk to that guy because that's where the red box is telling me to go. So we head there. Oh, one more thing. I forgot to go in here. And once I leave town, you'll see that I unlock the ability to fast travel. And I go into that shop there because once I get fast travel, that's the closest spot to where I need to go next. So I go here, activate a cutscene, then activate the fast travel, go to the jewelry shop, because I need to go back into that mansion, and that's the closest place where you can actually fast travel to. The game really limits fast travel to like inns and shops and save points. So I can't just fast travel to the mansion, it doesn't let me. That's not a fast travel point. So basically what happened is that Rena got kidnapped and now I need to go here to save her. I hope I don't... Okay. And I guess this is a good point to explain what one of the changes between the original and this is now that all the enemies are on screen. And the way the encounters work is they have like a cone in front of them where they can see, like you see how I skipped past that guy. And they do have like an initial burst of speed and then they kind of slow down and you can just run by them. But here, I'm going to try to fight this guy. If I let him hit me, I'm going to get beat. So what I do is try to parry his attacks like that, stun him, then move Rena in, and just have them both beat this guy up. And that's the first guy down. And that also gives me that gauge in the corner that has various bonuses based on the battle formation you're in. The current one gives me 25% attack. We're not going to be in this formation for very long. You can unlock them as you go along the game, and while the 25% attack you'd think is a nice bonus for a speedrun, there's actually one that greatly increases your experience gain, which is a lot more useful since you need to hit a certain level benchmark by a certain point of the game. And that experience bonus is really helpful into getting that. And then by the time you don't need experience anymore, you unlock a formation that gives an even bigger attack boost. So it's not like you're going back to this one. You're gonna move to the one with the higher attack bonus. And now we're just sitting through a couple more cutscenes so we can actually start our adventure. And then here we're going to fast travel to the jewelry shop again. That's just telling me some mechanics that, well, I guess they're not important to the speed run, but they're kind of around in the background, I guess. And then now this is the longest point in the run where we're actually going to be in the world map where we actually have to dodge enemies. Once we get to the next town, by the time we leave, we're going to get an ability that basically just lets us zoom around the overworld, no encounters, and even just move over most obstacles. Basically anything that's not the ocean, we can just run over. Probably not the ocean because they didn't want you sequence breaking, really, but from what I understand, this game doesn't really handle sequence breaking all that well. Like, I've seen people did find a glitch that once you get to the second planet, you can get to the final dungeon right away, but nobody's there, including the final boss, who has no reason to not be there if you can get to his room. So even if you could sequence break in this game, it accomplishes absolutely nothing. And for any fans of Ernest, pay very close attention because you'll get to see him on screen for like a second or two. Hi Ernest, bye Ernest. I hope you saw him in the top there, because that's the last time we'll be seeing him in this run. In the original version, you had to do a private action to see him show up, but I guess they didn't want you to miss that one, so they just let him show up there in the remake. So this is another one of the silly triggers. You gotta just talk to 2 people. And we're going to go here. Take this just for the level. And then talking to 2 people just apparently advances enough time that the king's ready to see me now. So you run in here, pick an option, skip, pick an option, skip, pick an option, skip, get money, get the travel permit, skip. Man, I love cutscene skip. Like the PS1 version clocks in at a little under 5 hours. For here you can see the estimate. I believe I set it at like an hour 50, somewhere around there. So all these things like cutscene skip, fast travel, it saves a ton of time. Not so much the encounters, because there was a glitch in the original where you could just avoid all the random encounters. But I'll explain that after I'm done here. Here I want to accept the crafting, cooking, and alchemy missions. Skip through all these tutorials. Then the alchemy one wants me to make silver, so I'm going to do that. Cooking wants me to make fried egg, so hopefully Rena makes it. Yes, okay. And then here it wants me to make a silver earring, which it gives me a recipe for, and Celine gets originality, which is very nice because, as you can see, that gave me 100 SP for unlocking that. I'm just going to equip all that. And then here, I'm going to improve some item. First off, you want to improve determination on everyone because that thing is just completely overpowered. Put a level in customization for Claude. Max determination for Rena. 3 into animal training, 5 into whistling. And I don't think she has much left for scouting, but yeah, no. And then for Celine, max determination, 3 into animal training, 5 into whistling. Now I can use bunny call, which is the thing I was talking about before. And then danger radar, just put as many levels into it as possible. Fast travel out of cross. Skip through the tutorial for save points. There's a lot of tutorials, and playing the game before doesn't stop them. So bunny call, this is, if you want to know why I don't have the voices on, this is why, because as you can see, you can just jump over everything with it, and to call the bunny, it usually plays a voice clip like, "Come on, bunny," or something to that effect. And if you just have voices off, it just doesn't play the clip, and as you can see, "Come on, bunny" only had like 30% chance of succeeding. So if you don't hit that, you have to sit through "Come on, bunny" until you just eventually get the bunny to show up. But if you have the voices off, it just skips the voices and you can get through them a lot faster. So anyway, I bet the original game had an encounter glitch where if you re-equipped a killer move, or special art as it's called now, as long as you were on that screen, you would avoid all encounters. It just like turn off the flag or something. I need to get away from this. Usually that guy faces away from you and you can just get the back attack like I did on that other one I accidentally ran into. But I didn't get lucky today. Yeah, so the original game had an encounter glitch. You could avoid all the encounters as long as you performed it correctly. It was a little janky, but usually worked. So basically my point is it's the cutscene skips and the fast travel that save most of that time over the approximately 5-hour mark from the original game to the approximately 2-hour mark in this one. If I got a little sidetracked, but whatever, we're just going through a cave to we're basically getting sidetracked from our main objective in the story right now, so I guess it's thematically appropriate anyway. So then, another cutscene, we open up a secret passageway. And then here I need to get another unique spot for the experience. This is going to unlock Meteor Palm through the leveling. And Meteor Palm is going to be what carries us through this game. Get the wooden shield just as a little bit of a marathon safety strat. Get the ancient text and the Leticia jewel. If you've played Star Ocean 6, she's one of the two protagonists, like how in this game you could pick Claude or Rena. That one you could pick Ray, who we're not getting the jewel for, or Leticia. And we're going to bring Celine along with us, because without her, we don't have anyone for scouting, and we don't have anyone, and we don't have the skill points to use Come On Bunny. Like, you can see this. Every time I failed, if the voices were on, you had to hear, "Come on, Bunny!" So without Celine, there's no this. We can't just jump over the mountain to get to Mars. We would have to run all around, and we move slower, have to juke enemies that are aggroed towards us because we don't have scouting. I guess technically we've got a couple levels on Rena, but she's not very good at it. I guess I can explain that all of the skills in this game are governed by talents. And Rena can never learn the talent that actually makes scouting work 100% of the time, so that's what I mean by she's terrible at it. So then, on the way, we just stopped there to get a fast travel point for later, because it's on the way to the next place we need to go. Here we're going to pick up that chest, so Claude has a little bit more defense when he actually has to fight, and then go to the place we actually need to go. And then while we're here, we're going to take a short detour over to the Skill Guild. Do another one of these quests, the customization mission. Which is why I put a point in the customization for Claude earlier. I'm just going to make 5 of these. Equip one of them. Report that. Change the formation to the formation we just got from that for the experience boost. And then special arts. Put 1 level in Meteor Palm. And since I forgot to do that then, we're going to also equip Meteor Palm. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing Air Slash, but we will be seeing a lot of Meteor Palm, which is completely... They completely and utterly broke this skill in this version. We're only at level 2 right now, which isn't completely overpowered. It's still really good, especially early on when you don't really have any other way of dealing damage quickly. But level 3 is just, wow. It's going to carry us through this game. Which isn't bad for a skill you get at, what is it, level 8? So we have to... That kid stole our money. As punishment, he has to guide us around town. We say forget that. We just gotta blaze through this story. Get on the ship, go to the continent of L. Or I guess... That's what they called it in the original. I think... They might call it the L continent now. Make it flow a bit more normally. The original translation was kind of iffy in places, and this one did kind of smooth it out a bit, but I'm so used to the original translation that I just kind of slip into saying, oh, it's like how it was then. So we clearly aren't taking... We clearly aren't going anywhere from here, so... Next thing, he tells us to go to the other port on the continent, but he says stop at Mars first, and... Well, we can just skip by Mars, but then the ship captain's there is like, oh, there's a bad wind, we can't travel until you deal with the stuff in Mars. And not like we were really using Arena much at all, but this is a split party dungeon kind of place where Arena won't be joining us. So here we're going to equip that thing I picked up as an accessory that makes it easier to run away. So I'm going to equip that to Claude in case I get in any fights around here. And then remove Celine from the party because I kind of need the experience from Claude fighting solo in these fights so I can get to level 3 Meteor Palm before the next boss fight. And anytime now, Celine, if you want to pop up with Wild Instinct was a... What is the... I can't... Wild Instinct had a breakthrough. That's the exact terminology I want. And you see that Meteor Palm is good, but not quite broken enough yet to carry us. Come on, yes, okay. Almost died there. This is why we get that, pick up those those pieces of equipment. They're not strictly necessary, but they help out survival a lot in that fight. Since you are a little under-leveled for that fight, so you just really don't want to take that much damage, and anything that helps mitigate that is a big help. Let me get behind him. If I can target the right guy. Thank you, there we go. Ah, he stunned me. That was unfortunate. Another nice change in this game is that you can just retry any fight you lose. So we're going to just pop in and do that again. And it doesn't even... It even gives me my gauge back. It basically treats it like you never fought the fight in the first place. So anything you used is back. Anything you lost is back. You're basically how you were before you started the fight. And I realized I forgot to get... I think I'm a level short from where I need to be because I forgot to get something when I was in town. But that's the glory of fast travel. I can just hit this next save point, fast travel back, hit it, and then run back, and everything's all fine and good. I have Leticia now, but I really like to save her for the boss fight. Yeah, I'm like a tiny bit of EXP short from where I need to be. Did I even turn scouting on? No, I did not. That would explain why all these enemies are aggroing for me. I thought I just had like a very terrible string of luck, but no. This is the unique spot I forgot to get. So we can just sit back to town. Get this. Hit the depths. Sit back. Improve a Meteor Palm. And now we have the best skill in the game. Well, one of the best skill that we're going to get in the speedrun, should say. Now, the problem with Leticia is that she has a terrible startup time. She's a nice bit of extra damage early on here, but like I said, terrible startup time. And if in the late game when you get to the enemies that are really quick, she's not really all that useful just because they'll just move out of the way by the time she actually starts her attack. But early on when the enemies are just sitting there trying to attack you, she's fairly useful. It's just that early on it takes a little bit to charge her up. So you can't really use her all that much. Now that that's done, we can bunny call. And head over to the town of Hurley. I think it's Hurley in this one, actually. Like I said, all the name changes trip me up sometimes. Yeah, Hurley. If you talk to those guys, you can get Ashton, but you want to see that in a speedrun, you can watch my RPG Limit Break run from 2024. No incentives here, so unfortunately, no Ashton. We still out of the core. Unfortunately, no animation. I guess fortunately for the speedrun, unfortunately, because I kind of liked that animation in the original game. Call Bunny again. And head over to Liqueur City. Hit this unique spot. so I can get those. That's basically just to get those scrolls of power. Go in the end to set up a fast travel for later. We're going to have to go to the inn after we do a couple things in town, so since I'm walking that way anyway, I might as well dip in and out so I can fast travel there. Talk to this guy, sign up for the tournament. Fast travel out of the castle because I'm a lazy boy and I can't be bothered to walk that small bit. And then we need to pick a weapon shop to sponsor us for the tournament. We picked this guy because he's got the best weapon. Just lets us do the most damage. We picked a... Talking about, oh, we fast travel here, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna walk. We picked a different store in the original version because it gave you a weapon where Claude would attack twice every time it hit. So even... I think that one also had the highest attack value in the original version, but they nerfed it in this one because it hits twice. So it's not as good anymore. And plus, Meteor Palm, you're not really using his normal attack. So you just want to pick whatever has the highest attack value so Meteor Palm does more damage. So you just walk back here. Rena leaves on something. I guess we got... Maybe you get to see Diaz for like a second, maybe, before I skip the cutscene, but Rena's off basically with the same guy she ran off with for that last dungeon. Oh, he hit me. That's fine. I hit harder. I also lose my gauge bonus for these fights, but it doesn't matter. They don't give that much experience anyway. So coming up is there's going to be 2 fights coming up that I have no control over. It's the AI is controlling Diaz, and he likes to take his good old time in fighting these guys. So Prey just sits back and spams air slash. He never does that. He insists on doing crescent cross, even though it's not very good and they can knock him out of it pretty easily. And they call me for the next fight, Monkey Man. In the original version, since you don't have the overpowered Meteor Palm, this guy could... Basically, with this guy, you basically just try to pray you beat him before he beats you. Just hope you can stun lock him enough that he doesn't kill you, because he basically one-shots you no matter which weapon shop you went to, but here you can just kind of Meteor Palm him. Same deal with this guy. He was a total pain. You had to run around, spam air slash just to try to kill him, because he would kill you if you got close to him. But here, Meteor Palm is Meteor Palm. Plus you have a couple more levels from all the unique spots I picked up. So you can just kind of Meteor Palm him to death. Now we got to see Diaz take forever to try to win his fight. Once we get over here, I take the left path because Celine's kind of like angled towards the left, so it's fastest to go there to talk to her. Okay, that wasn't too bad. So that leaves Claude and Diaz in the finals. Well, I think there might be cheesy ways to win this, but it's essentially unwinnable, because even if you do find a way to win, it just forces you to fight again until you lose. So what I do is just run up to him, turn around, so I don't think you can block any of his attacks, but I'm not taking any chances. So I turn around so the attack's unblockable, and then just let Diaz win. So then next we need to go to the shop that sponsored us and get the prize for being runner-up, which is a full set of equipment that we used in the tournament, plus some money, which is actually helpful later. Then we're going to just leave town. There's another thing we can pick up, but until you leave town, fast travel is disabled, so we're going to come back later to get that so we can just fast travel out of town. And take the bunny over this mountain. Pick up this unique spot. And that gives us a meteor ring, which we're going to immediately sell so we can buy a magic camera. But first we're going to head into the next dungeon we need to go to a little early, just so we can fast travel to it later. Wrong button. And bunny over here. There's a cutscene with Priestess. We don't get to see that cutscene or even get to see Priestess at all in this run. Then sell the meter ring we just picked up, buy a magic camera. This is the only place where you can actually buy that, so... Well, the only place on Expel where you can buy that, and we kind of need it before... We're gonna need it before we can get to energy needs, so we just buy it there. Fast travel over here because, again, I'm a lazy boy, don't want to walk. And then go into the Gene Pharmacy, where Bowman here is going to tell us he can help us find... He can help us get a meeting with the linguist, but only if we find a very rare herb in the cave I was just in. Yes, this version does keep the difference in recruitable characters, so we're not going to be seeing Diaz in any fights after the tournament, unfortunately. We're going to do this one private action to get a Rainbow Diamond. Rainbow Diamonds increase all skill levels by 1. And we're going to pick up 2 Rainbow Diamonds, because that's going to help us hit a benchmark that we need. And go here, get the Deadly Edge. And then go to the Sacred Grounds of Linga. And while we're here, we're going to use all those levels we gained to level and train, and then get Bodyguard. Where are we? There we are. Celine isn't the greatest at preventing enemies from aggroing on us, so Bodyguard is going to hopefully try to keep them from attacking us. Basically, Bodyguard just body blocks enemies. As you can see there, Celine ran off and she basically body blocked that guy. Hopefully this guy... Okay, this guy doesn't see us. There's the Clara Sage. Okay, he doesn't see us, which is good. I would really like to see Wild Instinct how to break through, like, right now, Celine. I'm just gonna take this fight because he's in the way, and I think I can get a back attack. Yes. Ah, that guy he just ran up. Well, that's unfortunate because I don't know how that was a back attack. Okay, this is very unfortunate. So I'm just gonna reload the autosave. That's another nice thing that was added in this version. They added an autosave feature. I need to also relearn Bodyguard. There's a better example of what Bodyguard does. I'm not sure that fight's winnable. I very much disagree that was a back attack. I don't know what they were thinking. Oh, he aggroed on me. I'm just gonna hope I can get away. Okay, that purple amulet's coming in clutch. This should still be the Clara Sage. Yeah. I'm not exactly sure when it... There's 3 options for what can be the Clara Sage. I'm not exactly sure what makes it decide when or how it decides which one is the Clara Sage. He must be aggroing on... Must be seeing me because he's just kind of running right towards me, but not a back attack this time, so I can survive. Here we're gonna get in here, get the second rainbow diamond. Then run over here for a little bit. That may be a back attack. Okay, good, it's not. Back attacks also break my gauge, and I'd really prefer not to have to rebuild that. Grab the Chain of Might, then Linga, Jean's Medicine House. Turn it in. And here we're going to run over to the Linguist's house and get this little side story done with. Then here we're going to recruit our next character. Bowman is another frontliner like Claude is. And he's basically going to be our secondary damage dealer throughout the run. There's going to be a bit of time where he rides the bench too, but that's just to get Claude to hit a level benchmark. But for now, we need to go to Liqueur. It's under siege, and then we just kind of run around the castle, go to a place we're not supposed to go to, and get roped into helping Leon get the material he needs to finish their new super weapon. That's gonna also give us the ability to actually leave the castle and do other stuff. But here we're going to grab a few more missions. Bodyguard, Bunny Call, Rating 2, and Compounding 3. That's to get us the SP we're gonna need for later. And this game is so faithful with its cutscene triggers that you actually have to trigger all of these things to actually be able to fast travel out of the city. And then here, this is the major item creation section. And probably why I should have gotten a co-commentator for this, because I'm really going to have to focus for this. So here we're going to... First, let me clear some of these missions. Then we're going to max determination on Leon. 1 level in mental science, 1 level into imitation, not intimidation. 1 level in customization, crafting, then just get writing up to level 9. Bowman, determination 10. Whistling animal training, and then put the rest into purity. Then we're going to use that Cinderella glass we just picked up to put the items on discount, and then we're going to buy a bunch of stuff. Magic film, pet food, fountain pen, Artemis Leaf, Mandrake, Crystal, Ruby, if I can menu over to Ruby, blueberries, and blackberries. Then we're going to use the pet food we just picked up to try to unlock Love of Animals on Bowman, which he has a 0% chance of starting with and a 25% chance to learn, which is kind of like Millie back in Star Ocean 1 with all of her talents. Then we're going to put 1 level into purity again, then 1 level into compounding, 2 compounding, Artemis Leaf, Mandrake, Medicine Bottle, okay, good, we don't have to reset. Balls of the Soul for the mission, Secrets of Earth, Metallurgy. This is just to give it all to Claude. We don't need that yet. Perfect Rhythm. Then whatever. Do all that on Claude again, buy the resurrection elixirs we need, and then... If I can menu, I would buy 11 fountain pens. And write... Death of Virginality. And head over here, report everything. Improve Claude. Put one into crafting, then customization. Get that up to level 7, and then you need to check Claude. What does he not have? Composition, so actually here, yeah, let me just put one independent ship and hope he learns it. No. Okay, then I'm gonna have to head back out and the item shop. Luckily that gave me a small bit of money so I can buy some fountain pens. And hopefully he learns this. No. Okay, I didn't want to have to do this because animal training costs a lot, but we're going to try to learn familiar on Claude because I got so much pet food left over. Composition is the thing he has the best chance of learning, so I was hoping that maybe he'd learn that. Okay, I'm out of pet food, so what I'm going to do is reload. Don't really need Rena for anything, and I'm talking to the wrong guy. There we go. And we're going to improve Claude. Customization. One more level into smithing. Then use those 2 rainbow diamonds from before to put his level up to 10. That unlocks a mission, get customization to level 10. Then we're going to customize the Deadly Edge with the mithril we just got. Customize that with the mithril, and now we have the Eterna. Then crafting. Try to make 2 berserk rings with this. Got 3. Luckily, Claude will have more MP now because of that, and then going to go into replicate the Chain of Might. Should probably just do 10 of these, yeah. Then improve Celine. Scouting up to 8, crafting up to 3. Then we're gonna put the Chain of Might and Berserker Ring on Claude. Chain of Might, Berserker Ring on Bowman. Then the 2 Rainbow Diamonds on Celine. Then we're gonna have her hopefully make 2... That's not Celine. Luckily she still made 2 Intimidation Pendants, which are going to immediately stick on Rena. Then we're gonna swap this. Improve Special Arts. Helmet Break while we're here. Poison Pellets, Next Snap. Give you Next Snap. Solo Leon, and then now we're off. I'm switching out everyone so Leon's the only one in the party, so the enemies are a lower level. Basically, there's 3 levels of enemies: green enemies, purple enemies, and red enemies. And everyone's so under-leveled here, except Leon, that it's going to be red enemies, and they're a bit more of a pain to deal with, especially since Celine hasn't unlocked Wild Instinct yet. So going with solo Leon just makes everyone purple. And they're just a bit easier to deal with. He's bulky enough that if I do screw up and get into a fight, he should be able to get away. But as you know, the real solution is just don't get into encounters. Just dodge everything. Which may be easier said than done, since Celine refuses to unlock Wild Instinct. As you can see there, and I need to hit that switch. Yeah, I'm gonna put everyone back in. This isn't gonna work out without Wild Instinct, so might as well just keep everyone around. Yeah, you can see Bodyguard came in clutch there. I was probably gonna get into a fight if they didn't intercept it. Yeah, just playing right around the rosy with this guy. Come on, break, okay? Come on. I find that Bodyguard is a little janky. Okay, Celine just basically took all those hits from me. Thank you, Celine. That could have gotten bad if I wasn't able to get away right away. Okay, this guy didn't see me. Unfortunately, they were looking at me, so I couldn't get the back attack. Okay, I got away before the arrow hit me. That's fine. We'll take that. Hit this fast travel point because we're going to be going back and forth between that one a whole lot. Go down here, hit the switch. The switch. I'm just gonna take it because I don't want to get back attacked here. You saw what happened when you get back attacked back in the Sanctuary of Linga. It doesn't end well for you. This is okay, Celine. You learn Wild Instinct when you want to. This is going to be, okay, I was kind of hoping I could get around that. But I guess this is the next best thing, getting a back attack, and since it's a chain attack, it'll get rid of all three of them. And hopefully this guy gets... Okay, there we go. Now scouting has a 100% chance of working. I went the wrong way. I'm just gonna let them win. And then reload because I want to keep my bonus gauge for this. Probably not the best idea. I probably should have just said forget the bonus gauge. Especially since we just unlocked Wild Instinct. Yeah, this was a terrible, terrible decision. He was like a second away from escaping. Okay, they're not aggroing on Leon, that's fine. And basically you're supposed to just fast travel to all these places, but thanks to Marathon Luck, Celine doesn't want to learn Wild Instinct. So we get into all these fights because all these enemies are aggroing on me. Then we're going to swap out Leon for Claude. take this fight. Okay, if you want to ignore me, that's fine. I'll take that. And we're on to our next boss fight. Just gonna bring out Leticia here. Okay, good. We got him before he used Thunderstorm. Okay. That guy was the hardest boss. Yeah, probably the hardest boss fight in the original game, but here, with some of the changes you made, you can actually get overpowered before you fight them, so now they're just kind of easy. You can see I had more trouble getting to them than actually fighting them, because they decided they were going to be nice and cooperate today. Unfortunately, I only got Wild Instinct in the timeline that we reverted, so this is going to be annoying. Going into the next dungeon without it. If she doesn't learn it by the time Noel joins, I'm just gonna swap it over to him. Or to Leon if... Actually, I'm not Leon or Noah, whichever one actually has the SP to get to Scouting level 8. Or I guess whichever one has Wild Instinct and has Scouting level 8. But speaking of Leon, he's about to leave us for a little bit. It's not like he's that useful in the fight coming up. I think I also need to equip Helmet Break, which I did level up, okay. Then they want us to go to the front line, so the quickest way there is to actually fast travel to Hilton because it's slightly closer. And then ride the bunny from here. You know, like right there, it's probably like... In the time it took me to call that bunny, it would have just been one attempt if I had the voices on, so... Unfortunately, that's why the voices have to be off. And there's a little cheeky fast travel you can do there because it gives you that fast travel point despite you not actually having hit that save point yet. So you can save the time it takes to run up there. And then you can also kind of fast travel back out there to talk to Diaz, who unfortunately won't be joining us this time. And there's no better fast travel, so we just have to run up here. And here it's time for the next, not really a boss fight, it's more like just get his HP down to a certain level and then the fight just ends. I did a run of this on launch day, and this guy tripped me up because in the original you just had to run around for like a minute, and then the fight would be over. Here you actually have to get his HP down to a certain point. Which one Meteor Palm will do once you break a shield, but... Yeah, I was wondering, why isn't this fight ending? It's been forever, and then it turns out, no, they changed it in the remake. You have to get his HP down. Which is even more silly, because in the original, he was actually invincible. So I didn't even think, oh, I need to attack the guy. And a couple more cutscenes. This next fight is one where I might just die and lose my gauge anyway. It's a little iffy. It's the same guy again, except you can actually kill him this time. Except not really. In the original game, he was invincible again, but here you can actually kill him, and it's faster to win the fight than to just throw it. Plus, it preserves your gauge, so that's another big help. And the experience you get from beating this guy is also pretty nice. So yeah, do the same strategy from before, just hope he doesn't cast Feign Wind, but he hit me. So there goes my gauge. Luckily, I managed to get enough points from breaking him that I can get at least one of the XP bonuses back. That was unfortunate, but I've got time to build it back up. Alright. In Rena's run, you have the full party except for Claude, who doesn't have Love of Animals. Who doesn't have Familiar anyway, so you can just bunny call here. But with Claude and Leon, neither of them have Familiar, so you can't bunny call. Here you just gotta walk. But everyone's back together now. And here, make sure you pick the second option because Leon's the only character in the game where not recruiting him is the first option. Get the ID card because I hit the cutscene trigger by mistake. Get the Silver Greaves because I'm not in the right spot to get the Fist of the Giant. Get the Fist of the Giant. How do we equip all that stuff? The Greaves are pretty much pointless. I just equip them just so I don't have to sit through a bunch of... I don't have to menu twice to get rid of it. Plus, they're kind of nice to have on this next boss fight anyway. And the ID card is what lets us get in here. You can't come over here without the full party, but then it's like, oh, no ID card, we're not going to let you in. And then here, it's another cheeky fast travel where you can just go. And luckily these guys don't move. So even though they see me, they don't move. And you gotta spell out death here. One letter at a time. You're supposed to go around, talk to all these statues that look like him. Well, they're kind of like transparent like he is what I mean. And learn the code, but the code's always death, so just talk to the guy, input death, get the ID card, which lets me open that door, but not before I do this cutscene. Sometimes I forget to talk to the door before I do this, and then I gotta run back, but that's why I'm like, gotta make sure to talk to the door first. And we go over here. These guys are probably gonna find me because... Oh well, Instinct worked with imperfect accuracy. Okay, that's fine. I'll take that. Okay, now this time Sin has some buddies with him, so I switch Claude up top, so Claude deals with the stone gargoyles while Bowman tries to stall Sin until Claude's ready. And same strategy as the last two times, just try to break him. Bring in Leticia, then Meteor Palm, and hopefully get him before... Okay, and then we got him before the guard came back up. Okay, that fight can be a bit of a pain if things go wrong, but luckily they only went wrong in the second version of the fight. And I got my full experience bonus back, so... no harm, no foul. And here's a fight where they didn't change it from the original one. You just have to kind of run around for a minute before the game decides, yeah, that's enough fighting for now. So you can just... The original version had like a quirk in the battle stage where you could kind of like run up in that top corner like I'm trying to, and then you just get out of bounds and it can't hit you. But unfortunately they fixed that in this one, so you can see you just get stuck up there. And I probably shouldn't have just tried to show that off so many times, because I think he almost hit me there. And that would have been bye-bye Gage. And now we're no longer on Expel, we got teleported with those 10 guys to a place called Energy Need. Which is kind of like a floating chunk of rock that's home to the most advanced race in the universe. I'm going to take that because that gives us another item that we need. And now what we need to do is head over to a place called North City. If the bunny would actually like to show up. Marathon luck, am I right? We need to head here to get a thing called a Synard, which is kind of basically a genetically engineered dragon that we can use to fly around. And here we're going to basically just slam customization on as many people as possible. As well as get Celine's alchemy up to level 7. And then here you're gonna buy iron and smith's hammers. I do have blacksmith, okay. Then we're going to make... See, we're gonna make as many Damascus as possible. Then use that Damascus to try to make bloody armor, which we made 2 of them. And then we're going to improve special arts, Sword of Life up to the max, self-medication up to the max. Replace that with that, that with that. Switch these 2, take them out of the party. And then Celine, switch to Bless, Tactics, Formation, not Formation, Assault Formation. Celine, Rena, go. Then the Bloody Armor, if you know of Vegas, or you know what it does, it makes you immortal to everything, but it gives you an HP drain effect. But since Sword of Life actually does damage in this version, we can abuse this and just not die. In this fight, the HP, we don't have enough HP, so the drain is so fast, you don't really have a choice but to use Sword of Life. If I had Leticia up earlier, I would have used her, but unfortunately we didn't. And by the end, it was just too late, really. So the Signar doesn't like us, so we need to find a wild one and just kind of dominate it so it knows we're the alpha and it lets us ride it. So we get sent to this nature preserve. We get Noel, who, let's see if he has Wild Instinct. He does not. Does Leon? Well, I just slammed a bunch of levels into him anyway, so... So we're just gonna hope Celine learns it. Because this is what happens when you don't know it. Luckily, we've got the bloody armor now, so everything's a guaranteed runaway because they can't stop us. I'm not actually sure who has the better odds of learning Wild Instinct between Celine and Noel. This is the worst luck I've ever had with Celine learning Wild Instinct. So I've never even thought to try. Hey, maybe Noel might be better at learning it if it's taken this long. There we go. Now it's a guarantee, except that the enemy just decides it's going to get in your way in this narrow pathway. Scouting isn't going to do anything about that, but I won't have to worry about all the enemies seeing me and saying, hey, I gotta go after that guy. Yeah, because see, they just put a question mark over their head, and usually I put Bowman in the party for this fight, but since I didn't get the full experience in Sin, I'm just gonna solo this with Claude. Oh, Claude and Leticia. Okay. Just to make sure I'm at the experience threshold I need. So we have our mode of transport again. Don't have to rely on Mr. Bunny anymore. Well, that's not true. We're going to be seeing Mr. Bunny again one more time. Because there's a place for the Synard where we can't have the Synard, but Mr. Bunny only gets one more appearance. And now I get to learn how to fish because I got too close to water. Get the experience cards because, again, we have an experience threshold to hit, and that's going to help us meet it. So we go see the mayor. He gives us the rune codes. Now we can go to two of those dungeons that I just went to get a fast travel point, but we're not going to go to them just yet. This one is on PC, but I believe it's on pretty much every modern console except Switch 2, but I think you can buy it for Switch 1 anyway. First off, we're going to the Field of Courage. I'm just gonna bring these guys out as blockers, because I like to call this Kickoff Simulator. You got your runner, you got the guys trying to tackle you, who apparently did tackle me, because I got into this fight. You got your blockers. And you basically just run up and try to get to the end zone. So the NFL on energy need, they kind of changed their rules and made the landing zone a bit higher up than what we're used to here in America. So the kicker kicked it to the landing zone, which is way up here. We grab the football, run upwards, and we try to score ourselves a touchdown. And due to certain unfortunate circumstances, this guy has been renamed to Brandon Aubrey. I am loath to name this guy. He's like the kicker, the last line of defense, so I name him after the kicker. And as loath as I am to name him after a Dallas Cowboy, the previous guy who had that name is... We don't talk about him anymore, so... He is now Brandon Aubrey, and we will not talk about this any further. We use the amoeba soup to increase our experience gain. We use the experience card, Celine to give us Bless, so we can actually hit this guy. Arena doesn't do anything just yet. And we're basically just gonna alternate Sword of Life and Meteor Palm so we don't die. And that'll do the fight. And that was a massive level jump from that. That's why we go solo, because you get more experience if you go solo. So all the experience bonuses, and Claude just gets a massive level jump there. So we go back out to the front. And now we're just going to travel around the world to hit a bunch of fast travel points for later. Because we're here right now, it's just faster to run around and grab everything than try to hit it later. And then last but not least is the place we actually need to go, the Field of Love. This place was actually extended a lot from the original. And the original was just you kind of hit a couple switches and then it opens up the path to the boss. Here they changed it so it's like a one path kind of thing where you have to make things in one path to unlock the next path and so on and so forth until you unlock the boss. I can see I need to go here, and basically shoot. I'm gonna reload because this also gets from my food bonus. I think it's faster just to let the HP drain. I don't care that much that it drained the gauge. I care more that you see that like meal tray in the corner with the one next to it. If I took that, even if I ran away from that fight, it would get rid of my food bonus, and I kind of need that to hit the level threshold. So unfortunately, I have to reload. Just gotta be very careful here. You can go backwards while you're on the platform, so I should probably try doing that than just running forward, getting into a fight, and then I gotta reload again. At least I was early into this place. Could be worse, could be late. And we're gonna just run through that so we can mark that as a fast travel for later. I'm so glad Celine had a breakthrough with Wild Instinct before we made it here, because oh boy, would this place be a nightmare without it. As you can see, they're seeing me. They just aren't aggroing me, and there is nowhere to maneuver here. So if they run towards you, you're getting into a fight, and that means bye-bye food bonus. That unlocks the next area where we run through here. And this one will unlock the one next up to the boss fight. The reason we take the fast travel is because there's still another like section we got to go through. Here I'm going to improve combat skill. Max that. Max that. And then use the scrolls of power. Basically trying to maximize my speed and my ability to break guards. And then here we're going to use that to basically get my speed back up. And don't forget the experience card. Basically just try to finish these two guys off. And then try to finish LeVar off. She does have a heal, which is very annoying when she uses it. But hopefully this is... okay. This, as you can see, it healed like... what was that? Like 24,000? Which is just a ton and makes this fight take a lot longer than it needs to, so... we're gonna get Leticia back, and she's gonna help us out here. Okay, let's see, what level am I at? 73, okay. I need, the threshold I need is 74. So I'm not quite there yet, but I'm pretty close. So next field, Field of Wisdom. Put these guys in because they're not in my assault formation because they don't have any special buff skills yet. Now you can see what Bodyguard does to green enemies. It instantly wins you the fight. Which is the whole reason I'm trying to get that level threshold in the first place. Because at level 74, there's these enemies in the next dungeon that are force encountered. And at level 74, they're green, so you can just auto-win the fights. So basically, you try to do the other ones, try to maximize all the experience you can get, so you get to level 74 before that one. Unfortunately, like I said, Bodyguard is a little janky, and it's not guaranteed to get them even if you do have the accessories to crank it up to 100% success rate. The level just determines how long they stall the enemy for. It's a flat 60% success rate of it's a flat 60% chance of success. Am I going down this way? Okay, good. I just managed to get by him. I don't know what I was thinking. It's a flat 60% chance of success. And then the intimidation pendants I made are both 15% chance, plus 15% chance of success. So in theory, it should have a 100% chance of success, but it is a little janky, like I said, so it's 100% in theory, not in practice. This way. Then you just run around, try to hit the 6 switches. You can get 5 from here, and then you can backtrack. Take them all to the party, because the enemies aren't green if they're around. Put them back in the party, because I need them to beat enemies for me. This guy is the one I really want them to block. Okay, managed to get by him anyway. And there's level 74. Okay, I just wanted to get them out of the way so there was no chance I get into a fight there. And since I hit the level I need, what I'm going to do is change my formation, so I need to unlock it first. Change my formation to Tri-Shift. And Bowman can be in the party for this because I've hit my level threshold already. Fortunately, he didn't think to use self-medication, so he just kind of died, but that's unfortunate, but we can deal with that. He did enough. It is kind of a blast from the past with that, because you did use Meteor Palm in the original too, or at least I did, to deal with not the hand, but the other guys, because there was one of them that was immune to the stars from the Eternal Sphere. So you would have to find another way to get through them quickly. Okay, he's not green because I had Bowman in the party, but these next guys will be. And here I'm going to try to inch my way close so they just get them, and then... Ah, Leon, I thought you were gonna go for it. Yeah, basically, ideally you get all 4 of them. But it never works out as ideally as you want. Here I'm going to have to take them out of the party so the enemies in the next room are green. And while I'm in here, I'm going to set Rena to use Power Up. No, not just yet. Need to see the cutscene. But enemies respawn after a cutscene, so if I do the cutscene first... There we go, that's how it should work. And then bring them out because I'm going to need... I need them to take out another enemy that's coming up that's blocking a chest that has an item that I'd really like to have. Okay, there. Luckily it didn't stop Noel from taking them out. Come on, yes. And hopefully they... Okay. That's the Ring of Might. We're gonna put that over Claude's Chain of Might if I acquired. Oh, that's why we were all the way down there. So Claude's basically gonna be hitting quad 9s for everything now. With the attack boost from the gauge and that. There's no doubt everything's gonna be hitting quad 9s. I got enough levels from everything. Just getting up here that everyone's full health. That's another change in this game. On level up, you get a full heal. The nice thing about having Bowman around is that if he uses self-medication, that also has an area of effect and it'll heal Claude. So I can just Meteor Palm, and if Bowman's on the ball, then I don't have to worry about dying. And that's all 4 fields, so we're gonna head to City Hall. And now the mayor thinks we're strong enough to take on the 10 wise men, so we're going to head over to Phenol to try to take them on. And while this is the final dungeon, this is not the final dungeon yet. I made the mistake at RPG Limit Break, and I was just like, "Oh, we're almost done." I'm like, "Oh no, this is the final dungeon, but we're leaving and coming back later." So. Don't want to make that mistake again. So yeah, spoilers, we're not going to succeed this time. Some stuff happens, Claude gets angry, we gotta beat a bunch of robots. I gotta heal myself, and then... the next fight coming up is one that you have to lose, so... while you get revived after a fight, Bowman's gonna be at 1 HP, and then the Bloody Armor is going to drain his health down to 1. So we're basically, like I said, we're basically trying to throw this fight. So basically we let Bowman's HP drop down, and then we switch to Claude, have him take a dive, Mandrake drops him to 1, HP drains down to 1. Fight over. Then he say, I don't want to go to here because I forgot to buy diamonds earlier. Then we go to Armlock. It's just faster to fast travel there to buy diamonds than to go walk over and try to find the shop here to buy diamonds. So we want 1 Knuckles of the Moon. Equip to no one. Improve Bowman customization to 8. Give him the rainbow diamonds. Item creation, customization, Knuckles of the Moon. Probably should have bought more than 1, but it's fine. He had originality. There's Fists of the Moon. And then we want to improve scouting to 10. And give Bowman the Chain of Might and Berserker Ring back. And while we're here, just max all that, and then you Godspeed Faint. Just basically trying to maximize their odds of actually hitting through, and then basically I want them to move quicker so they can get to the enemy faster. Faint so that the enemies don't block their attacks, and then any damage from the other 2 skills that they get is gravy on top of that. So those aren't as important. Especially since I said Claude's hitting quad 9s anyway, that just kind of guarantees that pretty much on anything he will. Sort of Life doesn't have as great of a damage multiplier as Meteor Palm. Like, it's not just the number of hits that make Meteor Palm so good, it's also the damage multiplier in Meteor Palm that it's like the easiest way to hit quad 9s, and then once you can break the damage cap, it still does a whole ton of damage per hit, and it hits, what, like 10 times? So yeah, you're just destroying enemies' health bars. And this is kind of like a breather part of the run. The run doesn't really have any input breaks, because in the original, all the input breaks are cutscenes, and we kind of skipped those. Like, you're like always moving in this one. Like, you've seen my commentary. I've been in the middle of one topic, and then we start with another topic because I've just been moving so fast. We've gotten there before I finished my last point. So there's like really no point to breathe in this run. You just gotta keep going. Which is really annoying because I was kind of a silly person and forgot to get myself some water before this run, so I would really like to get some water right now, but you gotta keep moving. Gotta go fast. Now we've got like 20 minutes or so left. I can make it. So the nice thing about that cutscene is that Claude and Rena get a massive relationship boost for it. And Rena's relationship with Claude is actually very important because there's one cutscene later that Claude gets an event with whoever he has the highest relationship with. But if he doesn't have a high enough relationship with anyone, it just skips it. And if it skips it, you have to hear the jingle for like the in jingle. While if you see a cutscene, you can just avoid the in jingle. And this is like a hot and cold kind of thing. Red light, green light. Yeah, that's Squid Game's still in, right? You don't want to be seen by the dog guys on the wall. Are they still kind of dog canine-ish here? I don't think I can avoid any of these guys, so I'm just gonna take a fight and then run. Because I don't see a place where I can squeeze through there. And this guy's kind of a joke with the bloody armor. His gimmick is that he can just, yeah, do that based on the amount of damage you do, but he won't move and he just kind of sits there. So you just kind of win. Kind of like a breather boss before you have to go fight do the boss rush at the end. So she gives us a lifetime pass to the main Nedian theme park. But we're here basically just to train. Give Rena the Knuckles of Hope because I'm a nice guy and I'd like her to have those. And then here we're going to switch to Rena. If Claude would like to get close. And then use Power Up on Bowman because Claude's already hitting quad 9s. Well, it's a very nice buff on Bowman. And yeah, that's basically what these fights are going to be. Just Power Up Bowman. And then just Meteor Palm and Poison Pills them to death. Well, not this one because Power Up's not up, but we're just going to try to finish this guy off. There we go. I think we've got a full score with that. It won't let us fast travel out of here, so we have to actually walk back to the entrance. I guess because technically the save point is past the event trigger. So now we have to go back to Armlock to save the nice lady who gave us the lifetime pass to Fun City. And now we're just going to try to blitz this guy before he can get his meta guard up. He's got a skill that lets him just avoid all damage for like 20-ish seconds. Yeah, there we go. We couldn't blitz him fast enough. So we're just going to kind of sort of life until that's down. If you're fast enough, you can blitz him before he does that, but you gotta be really quick. And I think there might be a bit of luck to it, too. But if he does it, like you saw, just sort of life, and then just wait till he drops his guard, and then just continue wailing on him. Now we're gonna head to Lakwa. Talk to Gnarl. It might be Null now, I can't remember. Like I said, I'm used to the original translation. And that's the cutscene I was talking about, that if you don't have a high enough relationship with anyone, you have to sit through the in jingle. And that's no fun. So here it's basically the same principle, except there's 3 people instead of 1. I got some pretty nasty attacks, but bloody armor, we don't care. Okay, the last guy kind of just stuck around so that he can run around and try to kite you with his like, what is that, like a tuning fork? And he kind of like shoots a wave out at you. He can just kind of teleport back, shoot that at you, and it's kind of a pain to try to catch up to him. So thankfully he just kind of stood in place and tried to cast spells, and I was able to take him out quickly. Those guys individually don't have that much health. It's just that there's 3 of them, and if the last guy decides he's gonna just run away from you, it gets kind of annoying at the end. Don't you dare. Okay. At this point, all these fights are just annoyances, time wasters. Like I said before, when I got the bloody armor, that ended any possibility of me actually losing when I was trying to run away. Because the bloody armor makes you immune to flinching, and if they can't flinch you, they can't knock you out of the run animation. So here we're trying to run around. The door to this isn't the right way to get up, but there's a switch here that you need to hit so you can open up the right way to get up. So over here is the yellow switch. Then we've got to backtrack to where the yellow door actually is. Which is over this way. Bodyguard isn't really that useful at this point, but it costs time to turn it off, so no reason not to have it. And then here you just look for whichever one of those 3 guys is turned away from you so you can get the back attack on them. Because any one of those 3 gets you through that door. It doesn't matter which one. Any one of them going away opens up a spot. And then here, there's another switch that we have to hit. Except red this time. And then that's slightly faster than opening the menu to heal, so I take the save point to get the full heal. Here, same deal as before. These guys were a pain in the original version. Here, they're just like another boss fight. Kind of annoying if they waste time using Spicule, but I'm just gonna cast. Probably shouldn't have wasted time casting Bless here. Probably should have saved for the next fight, but whatever. They go down as easily as the rest of them. And this is based on the original puzzle from the original game. That they basically extended this to the whole dungeon in this version, but they kept this. The sixth floor still has this whole puzzle like it did in the original, even though it's got the switches on other parts of it. Just go around and try to turn on each switch. Not yellow, blue. Because you turn this to yellow. And hopefully these guys don't get in my way. Thankfully they didn't. And then hit the green switch. You open all four, there's the door. That's the sixth floor over and done with. And you just have to run over here. Claude got a level from the last fight, so I don't need to take the heal. The only reason I had to before the last fight is because those guys in my way drained my health from the bloody armor in the time it took to run away. Here we're gonna buff Bowman, switch back to Claude, use the Compressive Veda, which is a speed boost, which is nice because this guy likes to run around like a jerk. But Letician, hopefully he stands still. It looks like he is. Thank you. Lucifer, which is, I was about to call him Cyril, which was his name in the original version. Word of Death, doesn't matter. LOL bloody armor. Okay, he's standing still. This should do it. Yep. Bye-bye. So, one fight left. Timing ends on the last hit on the final boss. Which is a little more obvious in this version because everyone has a health bar over their head, so you kind of get some warning because you can see his health bar shrinking and shrinking. In the original, it was just kind of like, yeah, kind of get ready on time, and I'll just kind of shout it when he's dead, because even I'm not entirely sure when that's going to be. But here, you can kind of have a visual. Here, it's just like the final run to the final boss. Just enjoy the last little bit of this game, because unfortunately there's not much left. Oh, okay, he stopped. We could have had a little bit long. You could have had me for a little bit longer if I hadn't stopped right there and ran into that guy, but we gotta go fast. Here, same deal. And we're gonna use the compress, because this guy also zooms around. Okay, I think Leticia got wasted because once he hits a certain HP threshold, he's forced to do Time of Truth. And you just do 0 damage until you get past that threshold. In the original, there are ways to get around this, but here it's kind of like a hard threshold. You can't get around it. And this just opens up his second phase where he's a lot faster. Gets a couple new abilities. And he's just kind of a pain to hit. Which is where that compressive Veda came in to up our speed, so it's a little easier to catch up to him. Okay, this should do it. Get ready. Oh no, not yet. he casts Earthquake at the last second. Time. Yeah, he says something there. That's like on the boss fights where you've seen them just kind of sit there. That's because voices are off. That's kind of awkward without it. So yes, that was Star Ocean, the second story arc. I guess I can skip us to the credits real quick. Skip through everyone's ending. One less one to skip through because we actually got the Claude and Rita one together.
Go to credits for a bit.
Yep, what's that? So, yes. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did running it. And I hope to see you all again on this channel sometime. 1 hour 45 minutes. So I don't have a stream up, so I don't. That's the first time I saw what the time was. So yes. Again, thank you all for watching. And I guess I don't have anything else to say. I should probably be resting my voice right now, so thank you again. And all you have a good night, and I guess you can call it there.
Oh, thank you very much, Gearless. That was a wonderful run. We're going to go to break, and we'll be back with the next run, Eye of the Beholder.